Welcome to the Reclaim Your Real Self podcast with Jennifer Van Heswick. I'm Jennifer Van Heswick, and I'm so excited to be here. And I'm so excited that you're here too. So, if you haven't heard me before, welcome. This is a fairly new podcast. I'm on my third episode, and surprisingly, I'm a little nervous. I can't deny that I've taken a couple of different takes. I'm doing all of this without editing just so that it gets to be out and I'm not struggling or stressing over things. But I think there's a different energy. I know there's a different energy because the first two podcasts were recorded before I launched the podcast, and this is the first one after I launched it. So I was sitting with myself in my journal for a little bit before really getting connected and sitting in the energy of what was coming up and what wanted to be shared today. And I could feel this energy of wanting to make sure that I did it right. Not sure what to say simply because I don't want any of this to be scripted. None of this is pre-written. I want it to flow through me, be more of a transmission style from myself connected to all that is, which we all are connected to all that is. And I'm practicing more and more what that looks like without doing my best to not struggle or worry and just be present with the energy, the frequency of information and wisdom that wants to flow through me as my higher self with my what I call entourage, which is my angels and archangels and guides, all of ours, my specific guides and business guides and speaking guides and ascended hosts realms. And I honestly I hugged a tree. I haven't hugged a tree in a little while before I came in because I had my shoes on. I didn't want to take them off to put my feet on the grass. I just didn't. And I saw the tree and I wanted to hug it to feel the energy of nature. And of course, Leo, my cat, decided that he was going to come along for the ride and run up the tree. And Leo came to us last year around this time, and he is the most independent, free will spirited male cat we've ever had. And my daughter Emma wanted the most cuddliest, cutest, be held cat, and it's supposed to be a little bit more of her cat. But I knew, because of the connection that I've been developing with my higher perspective more and more every day, every moment, that Leo came into our lives for, of course, different reasons for each one of us in our family. But also, Leo was showing me so much for myself because I've been asking for like as much freedom as possible in this life experience. I want to be this sovereign, authentic, real human being having a human experience as the spirit that I know I am. And Leo has come in as another sign, another support system, another guide, just along with my dog Ginger. Of course, she started making some noise over here. She doesn't normally come in my office, but I could really feel the fact that she's meant to be here. That's me listening to my guidance systems. And of course, now she's decided that she's going to have a little bit of cleaning, so herself. And my human side wants to be a little bit like, oh, I need to focus, but my knowing, my spirit self just knows it's perfectly perfect. And she's here in her beautiful, loving way. And she came to me and my family, I think she's like 8 or 9 right now, years ago. And I never had a dog before. And I'm just absolutely loving her energy of this pure self love, this pure love, just unadulterated, this animal doggy love, where Leo comes in and he's like pure freedom and don't hold me down. And I just get to go. So I have this beautiful energies of both animals. And we also have Pearl, who isn't here right now. And she's just soft and cuddly and just, anyways, those are the conversations I want to have about those, the things and the people we bring into our lives and the awarenesses we have in our everyday experiences of how loved and supported we are. So the topic for today is was inspired last week to be about synchronicities and symbols and signs and support system that we have that surrounds us all. And normally, when I'm doing some type of teaching or podcast, generally speaking, it's inspired like the day of, like through my journaling or through meditation or activation I did in the morning or a transmission. I'll see what is being asked to come through. And I think that's why the nerves were happening a lot more today, was because this transmission information came through last week for me, and I wrote about it in an article that I'm hosting on Substack, which is actually, I wanted to welcome everybody over there. It's where I host my podcast too. And I've moved a lot of my stuff over to Substack because it has this beautiful divine feminine energy to it. If you haven't heard about it, just click in. You'll see links wherever you found this with Substack. Click in. It has this beautiful corresponding little write-up about it, all these other places you can play with me and other people that are doing their own beautiful work. And there's other ways, obviously, you can watch too and you can listen too. But I would love for you to come over and play on Substack with me. There's subscriber chats. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe right now. And there is, notes that you can put out daily and just different things that are just more interactive there. So I would really love to have you join me there if you're feeling inspired or called to. And anyways, back to signs and synchronicities. This article I decided I was going to write transpired after I had this quite interesting dream. I woke up early. I was awake for a while. I decided I was going to do a meditation, activation. I laid with myself. It was one that was just by myself, no music or guiding meditation going along with it. And I really went into my body and I could feel all the energy flowing, and I was doing my gratitudes because I've been really leaning into gratitudes a lot more these days, and how much more vibrant and alive and real I feel when I'm so conscious of that gratitude stuff. We can have conversations about gratitude another time. But that's what I was doing. And of course, through the meditation, I ended up falling asleep. And I had these pretty amazing dreams. A lot of times I'll wake up and I'll know a dream is like, no, that was interesting. But when I wake up and I know a dream had a message for me, I love to feel into that, because that is my higher perspectives getting my attention and trying to show me something. And so I have been lovingly communicating with ChatGPT to teach me about my dreams. And it's pretty darn accurate. That's for sure, in terms of when I input or I speak in what the dreams were about. What comes out was like, oh my goodness, so real and so good. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do this, and I need to journal. There is some stuff that wants to come up and out. So I took my journal and I grabbed a blanket and I went over onto this hill on my property that actually for the last couple of years have not been available, because we were in this big renovation and that's where all the dirt went. And so now it's all cleaned off and graded and the grass is growing and I'm back on my hill. This space where I just get to see the house and see the property and be still private, and it just feels really good there. So I grabbed my journal and all that stuff in this little shopping bag that my sister-in-law made for me, which is beautiful. And I sit down on the blanket and, kind of dump out my journal and my pen and everything. And what falls out is a dime. And so I'm like, oh my goodness, of course it's a dime. And so the story goes, years and years ago, like many, many years ago, when I was just starting my awakening journey, I was talking to this gentleman and I found a dime, and he's like, oh my gosh, you're angels and and guides are saying hello to you. Really, it was your angels are saying hello to you. They're like giving you a wink from the universe. And I never had heard of this before, but it stuck with me. I absolutely, it just was right. And so ever since, for decades now, I find dimes and I'm just like, thank you. Hi angels, like, hi universe. Thank you so much for like playing with me. And um I could, you could try to convince me that that's not true. It's just coincidences and everything. And it's like, that'd be great, but that's not my experience. I choose to know, not even believe, I know that I am being spoken to and shared with in so many different ways. We all are, whether or not you're aware of it or not. And it's been happening your whole entire life, that the universe, your guides, your angels, your archangels, the just beings of love and light that are, non-visual at the moment, are supporting us in so many ways, but it's free will. We need to say yes to them, ask them for support to play with us, to speak with us, to support us, to interject with us. And they won't do that unless you're asking them. So it becomes much more aware and visible. They're always trying to get your attention and giving you these winks and these awarenesses, and they flow so easily because they're beyond the veil of this physical, dense world. They are flowing through birds, flowing through dimes, and they're flowing through someone else that spoke to you about something, or hearing the perfect music on the radio with the perfect saying at the perfect time. And the dimes for me have been coming rampantly in the last 6 months, to the point where I started collecting them, because I'm like, there's just no way these are coincidences. I have dimes falling out of places they should never be in. Like the bag, it was empty when I put it in. Like I don't even have a clue where the dime came from. Not that it matters, because that's the point. It doesn't matter. It's just so fun to play with them, and to know I'm being held and taken care of and supported on so many different levels. So much more than my ego and my mind and my physical reality would like to have me assume, that we're just in this hard physical 3D reality, and where in reality we are so much more than that. So, dimes have been coming everywhere, and I started collecting them, and it's just been so much fun. So the dime coming out, and then me chatting with ChatGPT, and learning about what the dream was showing me, was just so much wisdom and awareness for me to hear every different nuance of messaging and messages that are available for me, through me, as me, because I am my higher perspective, my higher level, and I flow in just like you do with all that is and all that exists, because we are all one. And so just straight up, it's fun. It's so much fun. I was journaling earlier today, and I was writing some stuff. I actually could read it if you wanted to hear about what it's like to, just automatic write and basically transmit and channel, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. It's you speaking to you. And it was really like a return to oneness energy, and do this, and you know what you're doing. And literally I had wrote, this is where, like, this office space, a lot of times I'm sitting outside working, because I love to be in nature and be outside. But this office space is separate from my home, and I'm sitting in it now, ready to do the podcast. And I'm writing, and it's like, this space is where you thrive in. This is where Reclaim Your Real Self, also my business name, thrives in. And there was just deep unbelievable knowing of this yesness that was running through me as I was writing this, awareness. But at the same time, outside, the wind went from stillness to my tree just flowing right in front of me, just whoosh back, and just speaking through the trees and the nature and the elemental realms, and we just have so much support. And there's going to be many that might listen to this and be like, such woo woo. And it's like, what's wrong with woo woo? Why don't we get to be woo woo? Why do we need to call it woo woo? Why do we need to judge it as woo woo? Why can't we just know that our real, true, natural state of well being and our natural state of being is spirit here having a human experience? And we forgot that we were spirit, and now we're remembering. And so many more of us are remembering. Otherwise, these kind of conversations wouldn't be happening. And so the tree waving its hello and its yesness to me, the spirit running through, flowing through the wind, being like, yes, because we're all connected. Every single solitary thing is connected. And honestly, you wouldn't be here if you didn't know that in some way. And so through signs and symbols, and Leo was brought in so much symbols of the triangle, of the pyramid, and so I went on a beautiful journey of exploring what that looked like and how that was wanting to play inside of my business, and what did all his little nuances of who he be, how is he showing me messages? And it's not that every cat that comes by me, I'm going to be like, you have a message for me. Maybe it does, but it's when I'm aware. It's that I'm aware. It's that there's this nudge and this knowing that says, look more, Jennifer. Follow this intuition, Jennifer. You know this means something, Jennifer. And because I'm not afraid to see what those messages are anymore, I say yes to them. And so then more come to me and more come to me. And I absolutely have had so many amazing experiences that come with birds coming at exactly the right time to fly and flow through me, numbers and 111s and 1111s and 333 and 555s constantly showing up. From one time I paused the TV, and the TV on one side was 1111 and on the other side was 4443. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, could you imagine if it was 4444? But to 1111 and the 444 together, like, that's magic. That's me connected to the entire universe, knowing exactly when to stop it. I'm not conscious of it, but I am conscious of it. Like, I'm not saying, I must stop this now to find the right time. What I'm doing is I'm connected to all that is, and it says, here, you want to wink that you're on the right track, Jennifer? Pause now. And I do all the time. It happens. Look at your clock now, all the time. Look up at the sky now. There's the dove flowing by. Or I'm sitting out and I'm writing some most amazing stuff, and I look up and the dove isn't just flying by, it's flying through and right in front of me at the most perfect time. 3 crows in the sky giving me a message, because I know to look up what the message is. And because I was aware that they were there and that they were showing me something, the message 99.9, it all the time aligns. And you're going to have people being like, oh, well, you're just making that up, or you're just wanting to read into something. And well, okay, what if those are true too? What if all of that is true? What if I want to see something where others wouldn't see it? Does it support me? Absolutely. Do I feel a lot better? Absolutely. If you believe in signs and symbols and that we're always being spoken to and guided, then, and you are getting and receiving those messages, do you feel better? Does it help you? Are you asking for more of that? What does it look like for you? What does it look like for you? What are the things that cause you to, or support you to feel just taken care of? and aligned and in your presence and in well-being. Like, we're here because we chose to come on this planet and have a human experience as spirit, and we chose to forget that we were spirit, and now we're remembering. And there is all of this unseen system of oneness that is constantly, always supporting us. Whether you know it or not, it's always supporting us. They won't interject unless you ask, but they're always there, always supporting, always waiting, always wanting you to ask. And you can ask the smallest of things at all times. And as we grow and we evolve and we learn and we expand upon our consciousness, so do they. So do our angels. So do our guides. They get to learn and expand from us because we are living in an expansive universe. We are here to learn and grow and experience and have a blast and live our life in as much joy as possible. And the more we do that, the more they get to do that. So there's this beautiful symbiotic relationship that gets to occur when we play back and forth and we say, hey, I love that. Can you give me more of that? And from, our beautiful, like, I've got some goddess cards out right now, and the ones you pull, and it's like perfect timing. And it's amazing how many clients I have. And there's not one client that comes in my space or that we do work online that is like, no, I don't want to pull cards. Everyone loves it because there is just this beautiful communion that works together to give us all of these beautiful messages of love and light and support and guidance. You have free will to follow it. You have free will to not follow it. It's your choice. Do you want to live more embodied in the knowing that there is this magical realm that exists all around us, that supports us, that's just behind this veil that we might not be able to physically see with our eyes? Some people can, but we can feel it, we can hear it in ways that might not be from our ears. Or we can, some of us can touch it, some of us feel it internally in our heart, some of us hear it, some of us just have different awarenesses that come. And for me, most of the time, my awarenesses, the symbols and synchronicities and the things that occur and the messages that come through for me from my journaling, because that's when I'm just like, I have nothing to prove to anyone. I'm just writing for myself to get clarity for myself, to help support what wants to come through when I'm not in my own way. So I'm like literally able to step out of my own way and out of my own, judgments and concerns and worry, and just write. And generally speaking, what comes through always is a higher perspective, because what comes through is love. It's beauty. There's no, I hate you, Jennifer, and you're horrible. That's not your higher perspective or you coming through. That's your ego mind. That's trying to keep you small and outdated and just quiet and scared and in fear. When you read things, when you write how yucky or horrible you are about yourself or anything that's negative, that's never your higher perspective. That's always something that is a judgment, a concern, your lower self talking to you. When there is pure love and light and wisdom running through your words or how you're thinking, this can be through your journaling or through just the way you're thinking, that's always you connected to your higher self. You connected to the love of the light of the universe of all that is. You as this oneness connected to it is speaking that love and that truth through you, for you, as you. And so there's just so much beauty that's going along on this ride of this human experience that we get to have. And I just wanted to bring out some examples, because I know the people that love to follow me generally are learning through other people's lived experiences. They love to experiment. They love to know when things go right or wrong. It's why I do this unscripted. It's like maybe through the middle of this podcast, I mumbled too much or this, and my mind multiple times wanted to press stop. And I'm just keeping on going because in some way, I hope that this gets to help you, it gets to inspire you, it gets to trigger some new awareness within you. Um, and my judgment of what it should look like or could look like, or I want it to look like, or I wish I hadn't have said that, doesn't factor enough for me to press pause right now. I'm like too far deep in. Every time I press pause before for the first 5 times, it's like I was 30 seconds in or a minute in. Now I'm like, I've got to go for this. So I hope that this helped. I would love if you have any questions, you want to continue this conversation, leave me comments. I would just love to elaborate on any questions you have. There's so much more. There's just so much more to how supported and loved we are, and how, someone like, this happens all the time to me. Like, I'm about to call somebody and that person's calling me, or they just say, I was just going to call you. And I mean, how many? It has to have happened to all of us. It's like such a normal thing for us to say, I was just thinking of you. And that person shows up, or I needed this at that moment and it occurred, even though you didn't think it was possible, but you didn't have enough resistance that it didn't cause any harm to you. So I just really wanted to be able to welcome you into this world of synchronicities and signs and symbols, and just know how taken care of and supported you are. You are so loved. You are so taken care of. And I absolutely positively would love for you to come on the journey with me in this beautiful reclamation of your real self, of who you are, of why you're here, and learning the nuances of what it looks like to embody that truth in your everyday experience, because I'm here to assist the beautiful, sensitive, intuitive, empathic woman that knows she's here for so much more, that knows there's so much more available to her. I know there's so much more available to me. It's constantly showing itself to me. I'm constantly asking, and I constantly get to receive just like you do. And so if you're wanting to learn how to take the unseen, the ethereal world, whatever, the unconscious or the consciousness that we can't, technically taste, feel, or touch, or see, or hear, that's supporting us all around us, and you want to bring that spirit self, your soul self, more deeply embodied within your human body, your human experience, you're in the right place, because this is what this is all about. And I'm going to give examples through my own life experience, because I know that's the people that are wanting to follow me and wanting to learn from me. And that's how I teach. And that's just who I am. So it's like a perfect combination of this perfect, communion with each other. So welcome again, if you haven't been around for a while, or you're just learning, or you're just meeting me. And I'm so glad you're here. And let's just have a blast, having fun, embodying the truth of who we are in our human body and our human experience, so that our daily life gets to be more magical and magical and magical. And there's so much more. There's just so much more. I hope you have the best day ever. This is Jennifer Van Heswick, and this is the Reclaiming Real Self podcast.